This video contains discussion of real-life violence, which some viewers may find disturbing. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
I don't know, there's a murder, I think. And her hands are tied.
Her hands are tied?
It was definitely some kind of passionate crime.
Are you saying that I did it?
Yeah.
Holy crap! Oh my... Oh, no, I didn't. I would never.
On September 8th, 2014, 59-year-old Jill Halliburton Su was found dead inside her upscale home. She'd been tied up, dragged into her bathtub, and stabbed repeatedly. The crime scene was chaotic. A shattered patio door, blood, and signs of a violent struggle. Investigators believe the killer broke in during a burglary, but something about the scene felt personal. Inside the home, detectives collected a knife, a belt, and shards of broken glass, and on those items, they found DNA. The DNA matched a 20-year-old named Dayonte Resiles, a young man with a history of burglaries. But burglary and murder are very different crimes, and from the beginning, Resiles claimed he had nothing to do with the killing. He insisted that if his DNA was there, it must have been transferred by accident, contamination, or some other explanation. At first, prosecutors believed the case would be straightforward. DNA at the crime scene equals Resiles was the killer. But the defense pushed back hard. They argued that the DNA mixture was not clear enough. They accused the lab of sloppy work, contamination, even mishandling evidence. The first trial ended in a mistrial. The jury couldn't agree. Some felt the DNA wasn't strong enough. Others believed it was conclusive. Then, the case took a wild turn. On July 15, 2016, during a routine hearing inside a Broward County courtroom, Resiles did the unthinkable. He slipped out of his shackles, sprinted out of the courtroom, bolted down the hallway, and escaped. A massive manhunt began. Police flooded Broward and Palm Beach counties. Resiles shaved his head, changed clothes, and hid in a motel. 6 days later, officers stormed the room. The escape was over. In 2022, almost 8 years after the murder, Resiles faced a new jury. This time, prosecutors doubled down on the DNA evidence. Crime scene techs testified about bloodstains, bindings, and items with Resiles' DNA. The defense pointed the finger elsewhere, even suggesting Jill's son should have been investigated more closely, a claim prosecutors called baseless. After days of deliberations, the jury returned with a verdict. They found Dayonte Resiles guilty of first-degree murder.
If the name Dayonte Resiles sounds familiar, that's because he made headlines in 2016 for bolting past a bailiff during a pretrial hearing in a Broward County courtroom, slipping out of his handcuffs and jumpsuit, and then escaping down the stairwell out the door. Resiles was found less than a week later hiding out in a hotel in Palm Beach, and 8 people were charged with helping him escape. Before he made his daring dash, he was charged in the murder of Jill Halliburton Su, who was found stabbed and bound in the bathtub of her Davie home in 2014. Prosecutors say it was an apparent burglary, and according to the arrest warrant, Resiles' DNA was found on the knife and belt loop used in the crime. Resiles was recently in court for jury selection as a murder trial is set to begin on Monday. A judge has allowed prosecutors to use evidence of his courtroom escape in this trial to try and prove consciousness of guilt. Phone calls that Resiles made after he was caught, which allegedly show him speaking with co-conspirators to craft up an alibi, are also expected to be used by the state. 8 people accused of helping Resiles in those pending cases were also arrested. Meanwhile, Resiles supporters have been devoted while he's been behind bars. They have held rallies in the past, saying that he was framed and questioned the credibility and accuracy of BSO's crime lab, especially when it comes to mixtures of DNA. Resiles has pleaded not guilty for first-degree murder, and it will be in the hands of a jury to decide what happens next. Reporting at the Broward County Courthouse, Amanda Placencia, NBC6 News.
5:30, a man convicted of first-degree murder for killing a Broward woman in her home during a robbery is back in court for sentencing day. After 2 trials, Dayonte Resiles was convicted of killing Jill Halliburton Su in 2014.
And today, the victim's family had a chance to speak in court before that sentence was handed down. Local 10's Christian De La Rosa live in Fort Lauderdale with more on this. Christian.
This was such an emotionally heavy day in court. Roughly 7 years of a legal process coming to some form of fruition. And today we also got to hear from the convicted murderer. Dayonte Resiles, convicted of a horrifying murder, sat through painful and emotional testimony. Resiles was accused of breaking into a Davie home in 2014 and stabbing Jill Halliburton Su 25 times. Prosecutors decided not to pursue the death penalty per the wishes of the victim's family. The now convicted murderer, sentenced to life in prison, took the stand where he had this to say.
They can hook me up to a polygraph test at any given time. Ask me any question they wish, and my answer will remain the same. I did not kill Mrs. Su. And that's all I have to say. And to my family, I love y'all. I don't want y'all, don't cry for me. No matter what I gotta go through, I'll get through it.
It's all lie, because everything he said is against the fact.
Was it difficult for you to sit there and listen to that? I saw you at times just shaking your head.
Of course it's difficult, because I don't want to sit there and listening to all the lie. And he's lying very well.
Resiles has 30 days to appeal his lifelong sentence. Family members tell me outside the courtroom he plans to do just that.
Today, Dayonte Resiles is serving life behind bars in a Florida state prison. He still maintains his innocence, and some people still have questions about the investigation. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more true crime breakdowns.